So welcome everybody. Again, this is our second instalment of Learning the Language of Light with Andrew Bartzis. For those who didn't catch yesterday's live stream, it's available on the Facebook pages and Andrew's YouTube. And tonight, I think the live Zoom room is open, is it, Dale?
Yes, it's open, ready for people to jump in.
Lovely. So come on in, interact with us. Let's take this light language forward a bit and learn a bit more from Andrew Bartzis.
And we had a great show yesterday and just the expansion, and there's so many different layers to it as well. It's incredible. A great chat yesterday. I finished inspired and today I had a session and I was doing a lot more light languages and expanding and through that as well. So it inspired me to do a lot more today.
Yeah, over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking to Dale about different ways to do psychic surgery and to apply light language to it. And I was trying to tell him about the octopus arms. How long ago did I bring that up for you, that idea of functioning with many arms?
So my first reading in 2013, it was, and basically you said, when I grew as a spirit, I started having these hands come out my back. And they were like, you explain them as octopus tentacles. And back then you could think you were saying I could get like 8 on a patient and I could do it a group up to 60. So back then that was like the starting point for me of learning it. I was just basically putting like a crystal up for one of my third hands, a crystal to my fourth hand. Then gradually over through the years, you've given me more stuff to work with, and obviously the advanced stuff, the future stuff about future soul shroud recovery as well. Learning how to do the psychic surgeries on the parasympathetic as well, which is fucking incredible. And a lot of learning processes from soul shards as well, from speaking to you and the conversations we've had in the past.
Mm-hmm. And then the application was to actually have light language coming out of the tips of the multiple hands. Yes. And then learning to have one stream of one light language in one hand, another in another, several, to the point where you can flood a particular area with many different forms of light language, creating a chorus.
So I had, I shared this with you earlier, Andrew. I had an experience today, had a client, and when I was doing the left side of my hands from the back area, because I was usually working on the brain, and my hand was doing light language while I was talking the light language to the client. Straight away, it got me to a monstrous energy. It basically just shouted monstrous energy attached to the foot. And it was like this parasite, spidery type thing connected to his feet. And I had to call in and ask, while I was removing it, I had to bring in my psychic surgeons as well in my lineage to help me remove that stuff. And then the next area, when I was doing the right-hand side on the heart, it basically went straight to the birth. It came out really quite fast information. It was just birthing trauma. And there was a lot of stuff connected to his birthing trauma, which was really held within his heart still. So it was basically using a different form of reading skills, but it was easier for me to use it instead of up here and trying to do the reading through the kind of the brain and the heart. It felt like it was the reading from my back, and it would kind of just, the information was really going into a nice smooth feeling. Yeah, it was one of those wow moments.
Well, it's one of those things that you'll start to get more and more experiences and realize it's completely natural for you. It's just a matter of giving yourself the actual opportunity of experience, and then how to strategize with it. You know, earlier I was telling you about, my first experience was working with the collective groups of healers that were all over the spiritual communities in the high level realms, and then, multiple arms, multiple legs, all of that was completely normal and natural for me.
Wow. And that future healing as well. So putting them into different versions of the self. So while I was doing the light language as well, I had one hand working on future versions, 1 day ahead of time, 2 day ahead, 3 day. Mm-hmm. And that was obviously instilling. There was a lot of stuff going on with his programmings in the medulla and the parasympathetic. So I was just imprinting real nice, relaxing energies for the next few days because it was causing him a bit of kind of discomfort. So, and like you said, it did feel natural to me. It was exciting, and it was with a smile, and I was like, fuck yes, this is cool.
Yeah, exactly. You're next leveling it there at that particular point.
So what you're saying, Andrew, it doesn't always have to be spoken, the light language. If it's
Spoken is perspective.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be spoken here.
Through the throat chakra, I mean,
Right.
with the voice. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it can be spoken here and not heard here. That's happened often. We speak to other realms through our voice box all the time.
Hold on. Take me through the mechanics of that then.
Okay. A thought pops up in your brain
Mhm.
and says, I want to communicate to somebody through a prayer. I enter my heart space awareness, and there are no words coming out of my mouth, but there is words in my brain and in my heart that are creating a stream that is taking photons that still use the ideology of the throat and the signature frequency of it, and broadcasting photons to a remote place and space in which said prayer is received by said person.
Because your throat chakra is between your brain and your heart.
Exactly.
Okay. And what's the tongue? Is the tongue got any role in this?
The tongue is the second organ. So first you were a heart with no arms and no legs, no spinal column, no nothing. And the second organ was the tongue. So that's how closely connected the heart and the tongue are.
And what about teeth related to this communication of light language?
So teeth really are storage places, but they also allow you to, they have a resonance and an echo in them that change electromagnetic frequencies coming in and out of our mouth. They do all sorts of things, but their main thing is record keepers.
Okay. And sometimes I get a very faint buzzing in my teeth, like a very faint vibration. Could that be some form of healing?
It's cancer. You're gonna die tomorrow.
Do some spinning, Laura. Palladian spinning will save your life.
We're not going to bring up the Palladian spinning again.
You're in recovery now, so it's all right.
The lizards got you, Laura.
Do you want to share the Palladian spinning then, Laura? Well, because a lot of people will be wondering what the hell are we on about.
Well, they will be, won't they?
Yeah.
Somebody might know it and somebody might practice it. So in my early light worker days, so before I met Andrew, I used to do anything I could to try and raise my vibration. And I was also heavily into things like the currency reset, and went and bought a lot of dong because Archangel Michael said so through some channel that I was listening to. Dong is Vietnamese currency because I thought I could get very wealthy and look after loads of people. Anyway, at that time I was also, as I say, trying to increase my frequency, and I read online about something called Palladian spinning, where I think you spin clockwise about 60 times. And then you suddenly stand still, try not to fall over, because if you spun round, your whole body I'm talking about, if you spun round 60 times, you're likely when you stop to fall over. And then you have to hold yourself very still and tight, and it lifts your whole light body, your frequency up. And I was told reliably that if I kept doing this, then I will be able to ascend. So
wow.
So being the gullible light worker that I was in those days, I did it religiously, and sometimes I'd fall over and sometimes I'd crash into furniture, and I can't remember when I got out of doing it, but I did do that for a long time. I used to listen to tones as well. Somebody from Hollywood came up with a series of, I don't know, 20 different noises or tones that you had to listen to for a whole month, and I did that religiously every month. So I don't know what I did to my brain.
The best one was because when she showed me the actual video and I researched and looked into it, there's an actual guy who was saying, I will not get ill, disease won't touch me. And he was basically like affirming that he will never be ill or nothing will happen to him. And I was just like, for fuck's sake, I would like burst out laughing. I was like, wow.
He'd spin it off.
And you wonder why flat Earth took over so many light workers.
Oh, yeah. I went through that, but I didn't stick with it. And I was horrified when I first started listening to you and Natalie, and you were saying there won't be a currency reset. If you've gone and bought currency, then you get rid of it quick. And I thought,
get rid of it, yeah.
I sat there and I thought, well, I resonate with everything else he says, but no, there's going to be a currency reset.
Did your dong ever reevaluate?
No, I lost about 200 quid on it.
No,
but Andrew Bartzis knows more than Archangel Michael.
The channeler Archangel,
Yeah,
Archangel cash bags.
Yes.
Cash bags.
That's what it is. Archangel, yeah, it's Archangel cash bags.
I thought it was Saint Germain who was in charge of the reset. And Nasara, wasn't it?
Nasara, Jasara, and Saint Germain. As you know, that's all from the extreme right-wing Christian preachers who bring conspiracy into their daily teachings. Okay, and there's a huge volume, like Behold the Pale Horse, who was done by what's his face, but that thing's still selling 30 years later.
Wow.
Okay, 30 years later, it's still selling, and all the those people that are in that frequency, and that's the band of energy they tune into. That's their choice. I'd rather it be them than the crazy light workers that we've been going through here. At least with the Christian, you know what you're gonna get. They're doom and gloomers. Okay, hurry up and blow up the world. That's what they want.
It reminded me of a story of in probably about 8 years ago, or around about 10 years ago, I was doing meditations, like a meditation group, and this guy, he just looking at me all the time, and when you can just say that someone wants to tell you something. And I was cleaning up, and he comes over to me, shows me his rocks and stones, and at the end of it, he turns around to goes, "Oh, just by the way, I was Merlin in my past life." And so that was my first taste, really, of how fucking crazy it is, by that guy having to tell me, like he looked like he really wanted to tell me it. Yeah.
In some ways,
with such a stern look, I am Merlin.
Right. So since this show is supposed to be about light workers, how about we do some light language about light workers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, light worker can both have a good and a bad connotation to it. But unfortunately, we have a really odd world that being called a light worker isn't a good thing by the rest of the world, who's seen a lot of bad things come out of that group. So this light language we're doing is about letting go of the over-conformer, the over-helper, the constantly there to give you the shirt off their back, even though they don't need a shirt off your back right now. That type of energy, that martyry over projective energy. Okay, and for people that are new in the chat room, what we're doing is I'm going to be giving a light language energy. I'm going to pass it to Dale. Dale's going to pass it to Laura. Laura's going to pass it to me. And it's the same subject, different ways of enunciation, iterations of it. Some may have more vision to it. Some may have less vision. Some may have a smell or taste to it. So as you, the listeners here, when we're playing, think of it like a game of catch. And we're just getting the momentum and harvesting the kinetic force of our consciousnesses in this light language format to get an even more potent, powerful definition of how to stop that within ourselves or anybody that's within or in and around our fields. So that's the rules of this first one. All right. Wahiki ya cha wapaka ya hasi ya kahu mayite na naka matuka.
Iokua Iakunye Kenya Kunga Bawanya Kingo Kanje Hakumichi A Hua Ki Akuma Kinja Shikuchi Kanga Ubawa Kiki Chikambawa Sekan Lakua Hiha Chuka Hakumawa.
Akuyinoka Kenchi Akakana Acha Ocha Oko Kina Acha Oko Okoko Chinakata Akonchi.
Laura, your audio's dropped out.
Okay.
It's real. Your audio's real low. We can barely hear you.
Okay.
Does anybody feel anything as they were doing that? Anybody in the chat room want to write about it? What were you feeling, Dale?
So I was feeling, so from like feeling like a translation would be that we've got to remember, obviously everyone has their own sovereign voice, and it felt like connecting to that. And that was kind of like the moral code of light language, was separating ourselves from, trying to be something. And that for me, when I was doing it, felt like it was connecting to those the light working, kind of trying to be something called the ideology, trying to strive to be better or be like this person. Instead, we hold the keys within us, and that's how I felt when I was speaking it.
Yeah, same for me. All right, Laura, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, so much more better.
Yay!
Oh, okay.
Take it away.
Don't know what happened there. Where did we get to?
To you.
Okay. Oh, great. Hold on. There we go. Right, I'm back.
Washna ya yi iki wa sina uba yi gawa inatechi chawahini iga hoki wana hi si ma isi sando ra.
Yukoki ga ku shikangunje chekanja pa ku eseka omawakinye kunja shakumawashi sakumawakika okena kikuma sheko sakanisu ashila boakina boakana jo hakimawa ya.
China ochino kona ka chikana ka chika okona ko nichiki kika akoni kikin chada kaka aka chini kiki.
Shamiyata wa kai ga washi in no lu honje zao zao maji sang ponka zao.
Yo kuaya yangua shikunja licha shukinganjunga kubawakia hakika gue shikangumakinga.
Okay, chinaka. Chinaka tau kinata. Okay, chinaka ako ningita not chinkina.
All right, let's take a pause there. Okay, we're obviously feeling the energy between us, but to help people that are processing this other energy, as we said, we're reiterating the same ideology about what we don't like within ourselves that might have a light worker aspect and how to begin to purge some of that, simply because that was the topic we were talking before. Now let's change the topic here. Let's make it more of a comical type energy, meaning we're passing on the universal jokes. Okay? I'll start with it. We yasina wa tiya de shawoka yizandasha. Mokosh ni nakash.
Yahoa keja hokenja gagu kigomawaki hakunye shakunga bawa shihakunga kika shukena sukena.
Oh, chinakana chinako.
Wahiya is Shaza Wishi Kaya was a that dizzy zoom sing za.
Shibawaki nye kuke a Shukivaka kumachi shukanga kuma kinya kuka e kumawa chika kumichika.
Oh, Gina Kanaki, now chi 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 chi.
Chi 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 waha, what chi 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 ha, chi 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 ho.
Shokina kupa chiba kuwa shikapua kinguba ki shekuka ki hokanya chukama.
There we go. I think we got a bigger reaction out of it. Now, let's process what we just did. We talked about light workers, and then we went to more of a comical energy. Now, if you're in a healing state and you want to use light language, I highly encourage it. Just make sure the person's ready for it. Because comical light language can really confuse the parasympathetic defenses.
And what's some of the mechanics behind that confusing it then, Andrew? Would that just be the light frequency?
The parasympathetic is binary first. Our sympathetic parasympathetic is binary. And as soon as you get to a third option, it really can't defend against you. And that level of comedy in light language goes right to the third. It can't figure it out. There's no binary strategy it can understand.
Okay.
So it's completely overriding any chemical processes at all.
It can, and it'll allow you to target a well heavily defended area. Let's say you have somebody that's been abused but not sexually abused. Okay, they've been beat up a few times for whatever reason. Going at their thoracic vertebrae with a widespread comical energy can reduce the core strength that they have to be locked up. It's like bringing that gut-busting laughter energy right to their core.
It's like you've always said, is the laughing and the humor flips the frequency. So it's going to be no different with light language, is it?
No, one second. So ultimately, when you're deciding to flood an area for a reason, I gotta turn this. Too many devices. There we go. Sorry.
Five Andrews. Andrews go up there.
Anyways, so when you're flooding a particular area with a comedy energy from the higher light language, let's say you've had a person who's been beat up and their core is very tight and it's not going to let anything in or out. You can flood it with that comical energy so that gut busting release can come to those muscles individually, even though the brain won't allow it. So you're overriding the brain's impulse to shut down.
And of course, all the time, this is all sacred neutral, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lily in the chat room says that this is epic. My 10-month-old baby is here smiling and chatting away.
Brilliant.
So these are the ways you can apply light language to any healing situation. There's the internal version of light language, and that's what most people go through until all of a sudden becomes external. And on many, many of my shows, we've had people who've had, just light language appear out of nowhere, and they're average, everyday, normal white picket fence people, and all of a sudden they're speaking light language at the toppest of levels. Why do you think that is?
Because it's such a unique signature voice. As I've had it with patients who just broke out in light language and they're like, where the fuck's that from? But it was like that activation made them realize, obviously there's something else there, and then that's a signature frequency. And everyone has it. It's kind of like maybe like a radio, like not obviously that's just a metaphor, but people are dialing into a natural state. And sometimes we can help, we need a medium like yourself or someone else to help us go into that.
Exactly.
So they've been able to get out of the chemical reaction long enough for that to come through.
And that's exactly what light language is there. When you need to bypass the chemical reaction, you can go right to light language to do that in a healing situation.
So it's got a huge range of properties for healing then.
Right.
Of
It's like the doctor.
potentials for
It's like the
healing.
Doctor Who sonic screwdriver. It can
So-
do anything.
Do anything, yeah.
Yeah. You've got to know what setting to put it on.
And it's good as well because you're doing it. You can just say to someone, even if you're outside doing it, it sounds like you're speaking just foreign. And they're like, all right. I've had it before. Like, I'm letting it loose because I know if someone hears me, they're like, oh, where's he from? Like, oh, he must be from-
Exactly. They can't tell.
They don't know what's going on.
I've done that. I've been in the park walking and light language out, and people just think I'm speaking another language.
Yeah.
Some crazy foreigner talking out loud.
With his fire in the barbecue thing.
What was that, Dale?
You remember when Andrew always recommended people, even if they didn't have a fire pit, to get like a little barbecue tin
Oh yes,
and you put a few twigs in the park. Just imagine Andrew, obviously, just imagination him in there, like languaging loads of twigs in the little barbecue tray.
Yep.
It's just the Galactic
Yeah,
Historian.
putting on my one chicken leg for the ceremony. Hope it's cooked by the time the twigs are done. It's black on the outside, still frozen on the inside. All right, so let's focus a little bit more on how we can use light language for healing. So I want everyone to just kind of stretch out, look down to your feet, okay? And we're going to talk light language to our toes, okay? Now, what do the toes do for the body?
The grounding tool to
Balance.
balance, yeah.
Okay? Each toe's position makes a unique motor cortex process going through with us. And those toes can get really abused from shoes, improper walking, all sorts of things. So we're there to activate the tips of the toes, which are the ends of our meridians. So we're going to be sending as many streams of volume to each individual toe. Can you see it like one little TV broadcast to each toe? Yes. Or can you see it one big broadcast to both feet? Yes, you can. It's whatever's going to work for you. But I always say the more detailed you make it, the more details you get out of it. Okay. So let's start targeting all 10 toes and seeing our words. Okay. So I'm going to pass it. I'm going to pass it to Dale. Dale pass it to Laura, pass it to me. And the whole thing is to activate the tips of the toes, the meridians, reduce stress, pull away energy from the webbings, anything that we might have stepped in, negative psychic guarded dog do we've stepped in, all sorts of things. All right. Yi shi wa ka wa shi ma hu ko wi na hi ata wa mi mi zhang bo.
Y ko king ga kung gen ga chu king ya kung ba wa ya kung me ken ya kung ka kung ye cha kung ga kung cha kung ge ga chung ga wa.
Hata noko china, anoko okonchi, akonoko, acha, akokonoka.
Wa hi ya yi ni wa ha ha. Chiga wa mi yana wa kati yash wuhoto yi mani ti taka.
In ko men ka nya in ko men ka gung ma wa chang kung ge chen kan gu gung ma wa sha kung ge ka cha kung ba kinga.
Wakanaka chinaka, okochi, okonchanaka, kanaki, chanaka, kanaka.
All right. You guys feel anything?
I felt a bit of dense energy come out the back of my right leg, like shoot away, like something firing.
I'm feeling like, I don't know, like these pebbles are being pulled out from inside the toe webbings.
I'm feeling
Wow.
touch of tingling on the tips of all the toes.
And I can feel more of my energy from my feet going, the groundedness into it more.
I'm feeling the nail beds get very activated too.
Singing like
Dale, can you
language.
make me co-host?
Of course, yeah. Right. Make post. Yes.
All right. So we've had a few different experiences here. Now, these are examples. Now let's go to a little bit more in depth. Let's say we've got a person that's heartbroken. One of the most challenging things in light language to do is to connect to the forlorn frequency. And oftentimes people who are having a light worker emergency and get spontaneous light worker light language, they are stuck on a forlorn energy. Have any of you on my shows heard somebody do a light language you could just tell was missing heart, missing and broken?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't feel. Sometimes it doesn't feel solidified for them in the groundedness of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So creating the counter frequency to forlornness. That's what we're focusing our next little round of light language on. Okay. So everyone knows what that forlorn or that melancholy is. And this is to break it. Wahani kakashi watira tanaha washida teya kuni manita waniki zingon mush tayada tako yiza.
Yoki guma kinjo kumawa shakumeke ka kuma chikango bekunya ka ki kuma kinga chu ekago.
Akona china ka onekiki anakoncha ochina.
Shi ya wu ya ya shun zinza wakia haka yin zoom ma yin taka wash shana hika ya wu hata yakita uti yiga ni shawani antungai.
Yoku eka kunji ka kum shakumaki ka kunjika kukeka kungega kumawashi shokinga kumaka.
Konichi naka okinichi onaki ka alata chana.
All right, let's take a pause there. What was that like for you guys?
Go ahead first, Laura.
It actually felt quite soothing. Even though I was giving the light language, it had a deep strength about it.
So when I was doing the light language, I was working with my hands in the back, but I was doing it at me, and I was kind of like, there was an aspect of my past where I was heartbroken, so I felt like I was tuning into that as well, which was cool. Going back and being able to actually go to those parts of you and send them that light language. I've not really thought of doing that.
Of what it took for you to get through it.
Yes, and all of that was in there.
Right,
yeah.
and all of that is in there, and that's the beauty of light language. You can work on, you use your own broad spectrum of experiences from loves and heartbreaks, get-ups and breakdowns, and transmit the message of success to them. How to do it through visual and auditory triggers and responses of getting out of that emotional state.
Yes, it felt like there was some empathy coming from me, and as you're saying, if you've experienced it yourself, and that's how it felt. It felt like a reassurance energy.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's work on a little bit more refined. We've worked with melancholy, broken heart. What's another type of energy that's along that lines we can create a counter frequency to? And we could take suggestions from here in the chat room too.
Grief.
Grief, yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do with grief, the loss of a loved one. Okay? And this is how we transmit and translate what it was for us. The hardships and the heartbreaks and the heartbreaks and all of them. Mohi che waka nami yatego yene yakugi wawaki yane shawa kayana ikoni nama shawi yane yaku maina ka shawaka mama jiga chahuni mi wakayana chuko shanumaya iyana tawo yatahata.
Ye shokenga kumbe shuka kujeka bueke ho shakume kenjoka kuna shakume kunjachi shuka gumeka chu ekumawa ki kumaka shikone se konyama ku e shukema kubepa ku shamakiwa ku
Kachuna ki akina kakona. Cha ja akona chi. Akona chi akona. Tana kiki ko koko.
Wahia muini mahia shehu kaya wania kayasi zawu saya yizo moj hakia nazai zai guys my zao zunzi waya naya wo mayigini tao sana watekia tao.
Shioku jikam kumanki kunje chunkengang kum shaku manje shaku menjoku shaku meka shukinje kango.
China kunaki. China akaki chi. Ichi aka o ochi. Ochi akana kachi.
Beautiful. I see people in the chat room are feeling it through the heart. Heart space communication through light language. It's how you flip the frequency on the system and around you.
When I did the first one, it took me straight back to last year when I saw my dad on the ground, passed away. And it took me to what I was going through there. And yeah, it was incredible.
I could feel it come through you.
The only way I know what I'm saying is through how I'm feeling.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And it's almost like a whole package rather than we know it's not translating individual words.
Mm-hmm.
It feels to me like just like a whole package of light.
Yeah. Experiences instead of words.
Yeah.
So Lily is saying it's almost like experiencing all the galactic mourners. I could visualize them all in millions. Yeah, galactic mourners.
It feels to me like just like.
There we go. So let's what else? What next level can we go to here?
And any suggestions as well?
But do you want a counteracting frequency, or do you want a counteracting frequency? What do we go to?
Something we can flip the frequency on.
Martyrdom.
No, we did that with Lightworker.
Yeah, we did that with Lightworker, didn't we? Yeah.
What about control? People's control.
No, control is fine, but let's refine it. What kind of control?
Trying to I'd say connecting to like warrior shards, trying to get things done too fast or going too fast. Laura's laughing in the background.
Yeah,
I'm not specifically aiming at this stuff. This is me as well. I've got shards which do the same. So yeah.
How about this one
The
from
warrior.
from Marissa Gonzalez in the chat room? Disentangling from our non-serving energies.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's a good one.
Brilliant.
There we
That's
go.
great.
Yeah, that's a
The
good
not
one.
shit that don't serve us no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, shit that don't serve us no more. We're gonna light language your ass out of us. All righty. Aiga Jawata Maka Fujini Hakihuna Sanagi Womokuju Hokujinika Wagaji Zamuku Kwa Equaliz Equaluz Aquanisimo Kaya Okutuv.
Ya kuega kumba kinje kungaki kukanyaku shakumaikia shukenga kuganga kumbeje wakia ua shiakua kang kumaki chukenga ku ebanya kuwa.
Ala kiki a cha a ko ani ki a ji a yikani ki ni ani ka aliki kiki.
She, ye, wakaye ya, hoshina, wawata, wawuni, warwuni nida, nayin he, kayatoshika fashi, shini wi iki shawa kakwiki.
Shiokinga ku jakanga kuwacha kunje kenja kumaki kungaka chukingachi chungaki kama kunje kakan kunje ale ukaya kumaki wayakanga.
Ikincha a kiki chana ka a kiniki a kiti a chuna kona ka a chiniki.
Very strong, very, very strong energy.
Yeah, mine was like, it felt like, well, I'm not putting up with that anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, I'm not doing that anymore.
Mine was like the Trump, you're fired energy. Going to all those parts that don't serve me, you're fired.
Mine felt like out creating myself and some of the habit patterns or things I've been going through on the personal level in my own journey, how I can out create that through the light language. It felt like out creating in a way. It was really powerful.
Okay. Anybody in the chat room have anything that they want to add? Or yeah, I'm kicking your ass out. Thanks for that. People are feeling it. All right. So let's come up with another subject we can flip the frequency on.
Fear.
No, let's do something that's more visceral.
Oh, okay. Hey, oh no, we've done healing. You want an emotion, don't you?
Yeah, I'm trying. I want it to be very visceral, though. Meaning, you really have to. It really has to be body oriented.
What about confidence? Of what?
No, more like the deer in headlights energy. You know, we all know what that feels like, to be stuck, unable to do anything.
Being paralyzed.
Paralyzed, yeah, that paralyzing energy. Okay, how about to break that paralyzing? And it can apply to many different types of paralyzing energy.
What, from light
Now we're going to do it reverse. I'm going to have Laura start, pass it to Dale, and then pass it to me.
Okay,
So it's paralyzing energy. We got to flip the frequency on. Okay.
Right. We want to flip the frequency on.
Achi, achika, aniki, kanakiti, yakiniki, chiniki, kiriki, kiti.
Yoki kumbaki chakumbachi kang go ja kuechi kunja kumba pikangu chakumbaki kang ja.
Wati yatata washisha ati yatata tawike ya nahata hiyo wo daha wachina takushi tai tayashisha lututu.
Kichi, kichi, kiri, kiri, kinikichi, kiti.
Yaku anya kuji chakumbake kunga kukinga ki leki shanguba cha.
Saniti ya tu saniti ya te saniti ya nata saniti ya tete saniti na hui tata. Let's pause there. What'd that do for you guys?
It felt like I had healing in my heart. It was like a warm energy coming in the heart from the top of the stomach where the solar is. It was, yeah.
Mine was more like my pants were on fire and I had to move. I had to actually get up and do something and encourage somebody to do something. That's
jogging light language.
Yeah. So Reese in the chat room, it's like I kicked myself up in the ass.
Yeah.
That was the light language of suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah. Count your protein light language.
Yeah, here's your protein light language.
40 grams a day light language.
It's time for a colonic light language. There we go.
Yeah, stop loading spinning.
Yes. The ideas that we can come up with they're endless. Absolutely endless. All right, let me switch devices again. I'll do it the right way.
And now there is no feedback when I seamlessly go between devices. Look at me. All right. So let's come up with something else we can flip the frequency on, then we'll go into a different direction. We done grief. That was a tough one.
What about flipping the frequency? Oh no, that's comedy. I suppose we've done that, flipping the frequency on anger, haven't we? What
about oh no, stubbornness is too much like procrastination, isn't it? The inability to move forward.
Well, there's cultural stubbornness too. So we've all run into a particular culture where men will be always be a said way. Okay. And they can create that frequency, but let's not do that as a choice. The rebel.
Oh yeah.
The rebel without a cause.
Yeah.
Whose cause is to destroy your life.
Yeah.
And somehow this rebel got put in charge. Who the fuck put this rebel in charge?
What about releasing programming from your parents on how they want you to be?
Melissa saying she has a friend who supported releasing addictions. Unfortunately, light language when you're directing at an addict can go terribly wrong. They will almost always use it for a different purpose to support the addiction. And that's the unfortunate side about understanding how light language in its own right has been defanged. It can't force things onto people. Yeah, they have to already have had an affinity for it to be there. And unfortunately, people that are in addictions and gambling states, when you go through those prayer and those higher things that you want them to do, they take the energy and twist it into something else.
So could you give any examples, Andrew, of light language hooking people up?
Oh, no, hold on. If it's a person who's recovering from addiction to break down addiction, absolutely it can be done that way.
Okay.
But it can't be done for someone else unless you're going to try to train them and they really are determinate on breaking the addiction. Okay. All right. So let's do breaking the addiction energy if it was a person who was going through an addiction, be it gambling or drugs or what, any of those. Okay. Laura, you'll start again. Actually, no, we'll have Dale start and pass it on to me, and then I'll pass it on to Laura.
Yakuaki, Yakuaka, Kum Cheka, Kumenya, Kumbe Cheka, Kumaka Chu, Chekangu, Chebawaki, Chanika Kum, Chekomaki Choka, Kumecha Kingo Ha, Che Kunga.
Shawi yati, yite ye we, moi ni ji, shawuke ye, akayita na, huki yiti, akiwani, ani yiti wuko yi, shanawiki ji, shinawi janika, shanita ye yawote ata. Can't hear you, Laura. You're unmuted. Now unmute.
Hear me now?
Yes, we hear you now.
Oh, I didn't think I'd me. Okay. Oh, chi akaka. Achiki kiniki gani. Achika anikini. Anikini.
And the Lord of the Light language, Mr. Waller has appeared.
He is.
We are doing a light language to break the frequency of addiction. And he's muted. I can't be here.
No, I am.
Yes, yes, brother. Woohoo, you made it. Yeah.
Well done.
Lock it in, bro.
Yeah.
Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to mute while I get myself sorted. I've just literally got in from work.
Okay. All right. So those are examples of getting rid of the addiction. Now, knowing the type of addiction does help, like opiates versus heroin versus methamphetamine, so on and so forth. And an individual person coming up with their own flow is great. It can really help get some of the stuck emotions about addictions out, because it'll give words to things that don't have words inside them.
It's funny because with this show alone, it's just now I'm kind of making a strategy for my inner work already. I'm there like thinking next week, like, fucking hell, there's some cool shit I can do now.
All right, so let's take it into a different direction. Let's say you're trying to talk to a guide or a guardian, and they're talking to you in light language and you can't hear it, or you can't perceive it, or so much of their message is getting distorted because of you blocking it. Yeah. So I'm going to be the guide talking to you two, the individuals trying to figure out what's blocking your message. So you're going to say English, like, I can't understand this or that. And I'm going to repeat back how to break that frequency. So you guys just got to role play with me for a little bit. So be an arrogant light worker who's trying to talk to your guides. Get into the zone. Spin around.
Spin.
What's my purpose? What's my purpose? What's my purpose? Why? What planet am I from?
What's my galactic history? Yeah, okay. Right.
Okay. So you got so Dale, you start there. I'll put you on the spot.
Okay. So what's my purpose and why am I here? What planet am I from?
Zawika Wala Maka Mama Na.
You don't know why you're here?
You don't know why you're here? There we go. Instant translator.
Hi, Matty.
Hi, guys.
Okay, Laura, go ahead.
I just can't seem to connect to the other side, to
Wawi na na. Wahi na. Wah. I don't count.
I was Saint Germain in my last lifetime.
Wahinu dubu, nabubu, flat earther. Now I'm speaking light language, broken light language.
You're speaking the violet flame to me, Andrew.
There's so many people in the world I need to heal.
Wah woo woo yi, woo woo ji woo woo ji, wahi ya zawona.
Go on, Matty.
Gotta heal yourself
jump
before
in.
you heal
Yeah,
others.
You want to heal everybody else before you can heal yourself?
Yep. All right, Maddie, we'll give you a chance here to ask you. I'm the guide, and you're the light worker who's coming up with, why I can't connect to my guides or guardians.
Okay. Why doesn't everything go my way? Wow, wow, wow.
Yashi wu buku, yuwi ji ja won ji, sawaka yenya.
If you've got everything your own way, something, stop being. I've missed the last bit.
If you got everything your way, there'd be no way to do it.
That's it. Yeah.
Why does
All
my
right.
dragon always play games with me?
Wahuji, naiti dawuda, daji wo. Puny human. Okay, everyone that's out there, can you do that to yourself? Put yourself in a stupid light lurker position and then answer back in a light language. Try it. Everyone out there, try it. Ask the stupidest light worker question out there and let yourself light language answer it.
¿Cómo puedo yo conseguir un mejor lugar para
So all right, these are, again, so many different ways that we can apply light language to the techniques that can help change ourselves. So now we're going to take it in a little bit more of a different direction. So let's say we are finding ourselves in a deeper form of communication with a being. We have already gone through the discernment process that it's not evil, it's not there to harm us, and we're not in any form of feared state. We're in that state of, how do I share who I am, what I can do without sounding human arrogant? Okay? And this is that type of energy. So I'll start and then I'll pass it to Laura. Laura, you pass it to Dale. And then when Maddie comes in, we'll just add him in. Siwi wahi tai chu wi na wu kai ni chu shiwa kai yanati ka hata haji shumiya umi ni kaya chawoko chawu chari ni ki chakur chari le chate.
Okay, now Kechinaka, Ochika, Ochiniki, Chika, Ochika, Chinaki, Chinaki, okay.
Ya kuya kume kunja kumenya kinjeke kunge kuma chingangu chinguma chigangu.
Siye she wu she ye ka umi ye ya chawu ma ya nai ga wu na dai jin ni so chawu ya yi na go.
Aichi ka chinaka cha ka kina tanaki chi chi ka anakiti aka.
Iyo kinga kun janganguma changumbe chi ka kunji kamba kunji kan kumba chi kula changa.
Very well. So what are you guys experiencing from that? Or Maddie, there you go.
Sorry, I missed that, Andrew. I was running around trying to put my charger on. And
It's okay. Take a break. Relax a second. We'll get you in the next round. It's all right.
The lightning round. Hey.
Exactly.
The lightning round.
Well, I'll be honest, I had a complete brain fart moment. I didn't know what we were doing, so I thought I'm just going to hand this over to my higher self just to do it.
Explaining who you are and what you are to a being you know you want to communicate in a trusted state.
Well, I don't know whether I did that, but I just let it flow. Let it flow. So there you go.
It's basically a way of showing your cards in a good way.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're not gaming with each other.
Yeah. Honestly.
I kept seeing a talking stick when I was doing it, which was interesting.
It's a way of honoring each other. We consider like a little tea ceremony, a little thing too. All right. So you muted, Maddie. Hello.
Bit more.
I don't know that one.
So Maddie, we're going to let you pick the next light language subject. So what we were doing before, we were making counter frequencies, the light language counter frequency to grief, the light language counter frequency to anger, or that. We did a comedy one already. So pick something that you know that is a common light language situation that may help people break out of a negative situation, mind space, negative, whatever, and they walked into an elevator and it's full of gas that they can't stand.
okay, so quite often what I'll use is there'll be somebody who is resisting on some level, whatever communication it is that you're having, or someone who's resisting a healing in a healing situation, and just to break that barrier to go forward.
Okay, so it's to break the barrier. So we'll have you start, and then I'll take it up, pass it to Dale, Dale pass it to Laura, and we'll do each person twice.
Sure. Siha, miha, naha, tokocho, goho, goho, tihina gaha, baharit gehel, maharge weha.
Mahi je shahuni, hoko yi dita, ba yi na ne na ninjun, jinjun wa nang sha, shang shang xin shang zhang, zhang jing nang zhong.
Elo ke ka ku je kum ba ki chu kenga kum ba kum mawe she o la kunga kangi ka kum changa chi.
Kina, chinikina, chi, alaki, chalaka, chi, chidi, chidi.
And to you, Maddie. Same thing.
Naha, toko ho topo o umbo ho o, sho umbe ehla aha, naha ite ina maha, toko ho ko ho maha.
Mia te ku, dia te ka, maya ta ka, isna ika, isna oka, isna uji I, isna a achako chu.
Ola ki kang kumbe jaka chunje akumaki kanja kunya chakuma beche chunja chala kunje kanga kan.
Achana kina, achini ki kanaku, achini ki, akaniti, akanacha.
Well done.
Shambaha, nagaha, barite ke bella, socorri ke pehelle meden, karinge de peshka halana, takinche ke lembewa.
Ni yi shi, zije wa ka, hi ni ya, uki ya na je, shawa iki, yi ni je hoka.
Wow.
Akua ki chankumbe chanku changa puanchi chankunje kunyi elumaya kunge shakangu gaba kunye ka kulakwa.
Chinikana, chalaki, akochi, aka uchina ko.
Uitapa. Tipitekishke heteke impekehe. Borik ungo edepekishkaha. Tokosko horike pehela. Markeheliehe.
Let's take a pause there. What were you guys feeling as that was going on?
I could feel each person's unique expression. And it was kind of, we were trying to achieve the same thing, but coming from a unique expression, like a signature frequency.
Yes.
Yeah, I felt I was reinforcing the same thing, but in a different way 3 times.
Felt like I was creating, and we were creating this no time field around us and disentangling into kind of a universal field. It was cool.
Again, each of us were adding our unique experience base, knowledge base around the common subject matter, which has helped fortifying the astral and etherical layers that are closest to our body. Again, light language is about activating and catalyzing. That's why you use light language, to activate and then ultimately catalyze frequencies to be used to burn up the fuel that is often stagnant in a human body.
Yes.
All right, is anybody in the chat room that has anything that they want to add? Maddie, you blew Reese's lid off.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Who's there?
Hello.
Who's there?
Hi.
Oh, hi, this is Carminia. I'm catching you in the last minute because I was watching the show from yesterday, from last, and I was finishing and I look at it that you be on again. Because oh my God, right in the horse.
This is a fellow light language speaker.
Yeah.
You're a fellow light language speaker.
Oh, yeah, I used to practice last year, but for some reason, I don't know. I was thinking that maybe I was bringing some kind of energy that was not able to understand, or maybe going my way. I don't know, because I was with so much challenge last year. Then I said, let me load down with this for a little while. Maybe I'm bringing too many people here that I don't know what I'm doing now. But
Well,
it's
we've just given you some light language to overcome stuckness.
What do you say, Maty?
I say we've just given you some light language to overcome stuckness. Can you speak for us?
So how about we do some light language travel lessons, like where's the bathroom? Okay. I want to get a drink. Do you have food in this reality?
I need a
How
shit.
does this reality work? Okay, so if you're ever lost into a realm you don't really know how it works, you know the light language basics of where's the bathroom, where's the food, how do I get a taxi?
Where's a holographical restaurant?
Yeah, where's the holographic restaurant? Where's the ambassador's consulate?
Where's the coffee?
Tell me where the lizards are so I don't go near them.
Where's Jesus?
Exactly. All right. So, realm lost light language. You're lost in a realm and you need directions. Okay. Sihi yatika washa sawa ti we ni jawa washiga yase so ho chana wata.
Who's going?
Anyone else?
Matt, isn't it? Okay.
Sorry, guys. I got kicked out for a call that was coming in my phone.
All right, can you just mute while we're doing this?
Yes, sorry. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Michata,
So
Piskahada, Kungo Hoe, Tatita Pichike Beke Humbaha, Doho Doho, Tungo Dogo Hichike Hembele.
Ia kue kinga kue cha kume kum ka kum je ka kume ka kum ka kue ka.
Conginana, Conchikina, Conginana.
Chi yi ji wo ki ji jana ha cha wo yi ne waka yi ne de ta wa cha.
Mihanaka, Chinkadaka, Higete Hehe, Posko Hogoho, Rumbaga.
Ya kueka, chimba kumbe kunja, kumbaka, kumbakika, chunge, akumecha, kumbakinga kuwa.
Onikana, Chinaka, Cha Oka, Chinaki.
All right. How did that feel for you guys?
Funny.
Said I
Funny.
needed it. Where's the toilet? I need a big shit. The end bit on the first one, I did at the end. I was like, I need a big poo. Second time I was asking for a restaurant.
I got a purge like ayahuasca's coming.
I needed a cup of coffee. Massey
Yes,
sounded
need
like
a cup of coffee and
Surprising
a magazine.
Yeah. Massey you had a bit of attitude, it seemed, with yours, Matty.
I was trying to find where the galactic weed was at.
Oh.
Yes, I need to find some weed. All righty. 1 second. Let me check the YouTube chat room. Who's going on over there?
I've been
All
having
right.
a look at it.
So let's stretch it a little bit. So along the lines of galactic neighborhoods or a galactic, language lessons. Okay, like how does your technology work? I'm a dumb human. We have to pay for everything. Okay. And they're going to explain back to us, you don't have to pay for shit here. Yeah. Okay. So in this reality, the language we're giving, or the light language, is telling humans you don't need to pay stuff.
Mm.
Ja kue kinga kumaki kangu haku la kamba kela kuka kikangu cha kinga kunga kunjaki chokega kuma kaka.
Kini, chi, kari, chi, ka. It's kicking cha, kokichi, naka, chika.
Very well. So a lot of people are saying in the other chat room, it's like something you've heard before. All of our light languages are familiar to everyone because they are. Okay. When you get past the individual meanings and understand the enunciation and pronunciation is the manifestation of something that has layers upon information beyond just words.
And there was plenty of other people that were queuing up to give their version of that. Oh.
Right. Okay, so let's do a little something different. Let's talk about the galactic dating world. How does dating work in this reality? Okay, so you're at the galactic bar, okay, and somebody's going to give you advice of how galactic dating works. Miya yahu kawanachi huji na negaji. Utui tiata hush no hushu mahi de hotu mi shani yingi o ni jao.
Okay, so I've got this beautiful blue being in front of me. So this is a feminine. Shoye mahai chukwe gahanga. Sugoki kepaka tuko kingehe. Pate chikele makaungote. Paheta koriki pikushkombo. Shangati kepike kipetu pohintech. Paskan tikichenke. Lahimeke tekehe. Oroinge hemawa.
For everyone, that was a light worker pickup line. Very well done, Maddie. Very well done.
Right. Ya kue ke kua kanjuki kangunga kumbe ka kankumbeche shankumbachi ka kua ha.
Yeah. Pretty.
Onjinaka, Onjiniki, Aka o sho o kochi a kichi a akochinako.
Very feminine.
Yes. All right. We got lots of laughter. Who was Maddie trying to pick up?
She was hitting on me. Hitting on me.
Apparently, she had loads of weed. She knew someone on Venus. It could get you some good shit. Yeah. And she like languages back. I know you're not authentic when you're speaking to me. You want something. There's something.
Only $5.99 a minute. All right. So let's go back into the dating world, but refine it a little bit more, where you're trying to figure out if the two species can actually like interact at that level. Like, do the pieces parts work? So it's kind of like a birds and the bees story, but for adults. Will your parts work or not? Okay.
I've got a good one.
Okay, you start.
Mishkali bigel make it to koshkali pokohekem. No do boy betaban. Pilil maliko no loya. Shangara. Pulya malaki gile. Piscoliale maka chikili maka. Tangashkalia makitungo. Bahali limoku he.
Great. Mihati mumu kiyatawa shanata uiti wakachini janatuku janawi jahu shinahuku mayetijo uku yijini ya.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Kingo, Jakuka, Jakingaku, Jekemakunye, Jankunga, Chukenga pa Kumaku, Jekanga, Kuka. That's like, I don't want to say what that was.
Onikana, Chiniki, Kichiko. Oh, cool, 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 cool.
Okay. Now, along the lines of do the parts work, we discover they work. Okay. And this is first base to second base. Galactic light language. Shimogumi shemumoye shahubiyata miyotumo ya humanataka.
Jinga. Keshabaku moko kike. Kancha ke jibumbo kuchite. Butu pushko pakateke ya makaten mele. Songo rikipel. Parke halya mkitakashke hele. Patin yen.
Jekunge, Gagumba, Shikumba Pi, Kunje, Ganga, Kumbe, Keko, Shakanguma, Chi, Ayekanga, Kume, Koa, Chi, Wanginga. Oh.
Onjichana, Onjichana, Okinini, Okinini, oh. I think I'm on a different story.
I think you're at the next base. You're at the next base. All right, just out of fun, let's say you've tried and the parts don't work. And you're both laying down afterwards. Okay, you're still determined to try to make it work, but it didn't work. Ihawuku hani wo mai ya sawanai uki nenecha.
Bachaga, Shangagumbo goye ke tapaki ke lehelomo, tunkota kapin kele. Sando kiele. Shangal hingele, martilele mehel. Wow.
Pokinga, Kume Cheka, Jung, Gangung, Gege, Kum. Jakumba akum jengango ga kungega kungega.
Onjikichi, Jakaichako, Kachika, Kakichika.
You got me that far and didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm wasting my time.
Exactly.
Mine was
What time means to me.
I can't get it up. Is it me?
No, it's not just you. All right. Let's get a little bit more serious. So let's say you're out there traveling the galaxy and all right, let somebody else try to come up with an idea. Dale wants noodles.
Says it.
Claire, it's not you, it's me.
I quite like the other one before it went wrong. What about sitting in a pub telling a story, telling a joke? Oh, let's tell
Okay.
some. Let's tell
We
jokes.
can do jokes. We can easily
Yeah.
do jokes. Yeah. All right, you start, Laura.
Okay. A chinchika, a nikiki, konji, a kichini chika, a chi.
Jaku eha kung gaji joka kinga kuma shikango cheka kube shunashi shukengo shakenga kuge ahashunge bakunga.
Ahiti yitu taumu mukuku mukuyi zini mukisha nata.
Kahale, pargi pitää kahunko kuihinda tätichi. Songo, parbi kehteliä mokukka.
All right, anybody laugh?
I find it,
Matty sounded serious.
I find it very, their sense of humor is so different. And I find it very hard to translate the jokes and some of the humor for some reason. I find it kind of difficult to translate some of that.
Because it is. It's not,
Yes.
it's not hard. That's why putting yourself in these challenging light language situations, just like where's the bathroom? What if the reality doesn't use a bathroom?
Mhm.
Okay. There's none anywhere. You're fucked. Or you manifest it as you need it. Because that's what they're going to tell you. You just do what you need to do, man. Stay on the corner. The robots will clean it up.
I was telling them dad jokes.
Okay.
My stomach's
All right,
not
let's
doing
come
this
up.
light
Let's come
language
up with another
Oh,
subject matter, even if
oh.
it's down the sexy side, because it provides a unique situation to put yourself in to speak the light language itself.
Yeah, that was interesting for me because I did experience everything that I was talking about as well. So as I'm saying it, once I'd finished speaking it, I actually experienced it. So it was very, very multifaceted experience. Took my breath away. That did. I've never really thought about going down that path before and speaking to them in that manner.
What about going into a galactic sex toy shop?
Okay,
Okay.
you start,
Okay.
Laura. You start,
You
Laura.
start.
I wish I-
Talking sticks to you, Laura. Go ahead.
Exactly. Talking sticks handed to you, Laura. Do you have something? You take American Express? All right, I'll pass on. So we're walking into a galactic sex toy shop. Whoa, whoa, ha, ha. Whoa, 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 whoa. Me, 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 me. Gaji wo shawo na dancho no jinja. Zun zung sha wo. Shawo nanta.
Yeku Jakuma ka kunjika jun kambuaki changa kumba chugangi ka buka chugangangangung chingumanga.
Jumbaga ditete, Pakahinskete Koyapoki. Landa Bilia Takichikai, Kuskukigaka Tepe, Kotokuchuko Hikambaka, Dongaragi Behlehe, Mahala.
Zomuba, Zawubi, Zowu, Zano, Zawuna, Zaha, Zajeji, Zajuju, Za, Zano, Muji Hua, Wushu, Danika Kuku, Wo, Zaji, Womi, Zawana. Oh, no. I leave.
Matty sounded very demanding. Andrew sounded very precise.
He knew what I was looking for.
Yeah, that's right.
He was a man who knew what he wanted.
I was asking.
Matty was just floating around. What? Yep, this, that, try that.
I was asking an octopi being, an octopus being, what they would use, and they showed me this thing that they would use, and I was just amazed at it.
That reminds me of an episode of The Boys where the Deep was having an affair with an octopus. A creature, a man of the deep. The Deep was in the deep underwater. He speaks to fish and stuff. And had a full on. So there's an octopus over his crotch, holding on to him, giving him a blowjob. The last 2 episodes. Oh God.
Wow. Wash it.
All right. So somebody wanted to do for this world in dating. How did the question go? Okay. Can we do for dating in this realm? Awareness that they're compatible, worth our time. Doesn't work that way.
And the extraterrestrial, one of Andrew's actually talked about that.
So unneeded desire, that you can go back to some of the other ones where we were doing that, things that don't serve you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Amy, thanks, Amy. Andrew wanted everything. I was specific.
Yeah,
I was looking for a very specific tool.
You were very specific.
Yeah, I was very specific.
James Bond style.
Yeah, James Bond style, exactly.
Coming in with your suit. Just like...
Reese said just this one bite.
And they kept trying to upsell me. No.
Well, Matt is with the octopus in the room. Side room.
Oh, this is a good one, Amy. How to talk to make a virgin comfortable for the first time.
Isn't that a song? For the very first time. All right, go ahead, Laura. You're nominated with the talking stick.
Okay, what? How to talk to make a virgin comfortable for the first time?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I said not rush off and finish before it starts.
Story of my 20s.
Aka, akani, chika, chikititi, chiniki, ajakoniki, nakachi, akacha, nakichi, anako ochi o kochi, achi, ikini, aka ocho, aka.
Umi si sawata yika na ite yi zawana wahika ya wazi zahi ya sawoto mami tatayata.
Tokea kungega kumbe kunye shunga kum jekunga kuya kumbaka shikunge kum pakinje kumba puba chika.
Bichika mag. Shunga de pitecheke lete kunga kahye ke pite kuhunko. Sangati chelemete. Sohrit behla betel, matechele makokehente kesh, maka nokawaka, chakali mawa.
Very well done. Anybody have any energy responses from that?
I felt smooth. I don't know. I just felt really just felt really smooth. Just briefing them and just to be natural and just enjoy it.
All right, guys. So we've got about 10 minutes, 15 minutes left. What direction do we want to go for our last part of the show?
We let Matty choose because you've missed out on a bit of this.
Are we doing questions or are we just doing light language, Andrew?
We can do anything. It doesn't matter.
I did wonder the origins of light language. Where did it first come from?
The light that needed to learn how to speak to its sublight beings who were existing in light, that then created a pattern of light, that created a culture of light, that then individuated into individual pieces of light that went further and further away from the central sun until there were 2 central suns, 4 central suns, 1,000 central suns with 1,000,000 different galaxies and universes and all the sub-frequencies of light that created the infinitude of light languages that there are. All starting from a unique source.
I'm not disappointed with the answer. That's beautiful.
You're welcome. Shahiti, Dati U.
Dabaga magawa. Istyake henge hege hege he.
Safuka.
Nagawa.
No huja. We're not going back to the sex toy shop.
You just can't stay away, can you?
You're off to another galaxy to find your Pacific requirements, Andrew.
Exactly.
You do a galaxy down here in the void.
How about anybody who's in the Zoom room who wants to say something in light language to you? Giving them an opportunity.
Just go ahead and raise your hand, and then we'll have you on mute if you want anybody else that wants to come in. Hermione, you got your hand raised, and go ahead and unmute yourself.
Well, what I can do in this point?
You can go into a sex toy shop.
What direction do you take? The water and the sunlight and the leaf. And I was wondering how much access I had to the language of light.
So that
So
again,
you got to say that again. We didn't get what you're saying.
I said, how much, I wonder how much access I have for my background in language, light language.
you speak beautiful light languages, Herminia, very connected to your ancestors. I've heard you speak many times. Can you give us some? Relax.
E kini ki fo moa ki so no la ket mextikio mo kwani ke fiat. Una la kenes metikusio, o kala ket smekitikia kia, nikisti ula kates mokuye. Ana la kates mikiti chefia sala ka makiuso. O kana la kala kes mektekia si mon di jakfa, kana la ket si pikio ki bua kataka check we. Guluka makuchu. Ola ke pixia ne wacha le fie so fu hakana kala ke spoktoke givisie vosola utula ke tmikiti piakti iria fisa na kala ke smekiti la ke fie to kolobotu itila ka makio seko so sa witike wikilesi mikisia hala esto utwakist mi hilikis sokola kia fi nakia okwala ka smiti jafia sola o okay, see, la moki, la what this?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Kapatite li repete kuhungo to. Ruta kupuskun to ke pete chetel. Ko ho ko epete pe. Kuska hange ki kumba ki element tete. Kunko to bohi pe helem kuhungo e.
O qua, ese pisimiki, la la katsimita qua, notice miti, a full of this poti, qua, ikira.
Mate kumbe ke meta bohi te pakanda ki to kushinke ke uko to hor to ko bakingelele.
O timia sina la timo wati ye fisola kama ana la kata mistiki nuana la kasma kwati sta mwati isi la fisia motua silika tisi e doli kurak dida ana kles meti ye fisola kalmakso o sala karna spie tu lo kamala kapiti na kia fisu fusa o la kata smeti na la fi
Wow.
o la kati.
My God, that was outstanding. Absolutely no accent in the light language. Okay. It took me a while to get rid of my accent. And then sometimes I'll speak lazy light language where I'll just mix a whole bunch and it's kind of like Andrew slang.
I do the same.
Yeah, we all do it in our own way. All right, anybody else have a hand up?
Lana has.
Oh, hi guys.
Hi,
Hello.
Lana.
Hello.
Hello. So I have a question, and then I've been practicing walking and talking light language, but I have a question that I would like to ask Andrew first before I go ahead and say anything. How do you know that it's actually light language that you're speaking and not just nonsense?
How do you know you're speaking? How do you know you're speaking English?
I learned it.
Okay.
As a child.
So if you learn a light language, are you speaking it?
Is it because it's within me already from other lifetimes, perhaps?
It's not about other lifetimes. It's about this lifetime, your capacity to manifest through enunciation, pronunciation, without the expectation of definition of everything. Light language is not just 26-letter encoded English alphabet. It's the million-letter celestial alphabet. It has way more information embedded into it. Therefore, the enunciation and pronunciation is the manifestation in this reality, which allows the transference of coded light. And the coded light is the light language. And in the beginning, many people don't trust what they're saying, but they're also not entering that high creative state where it's not about, am I making it up? How much more validation do I know that I'm in the flow and that there's no strategy of self-deception here?
Mm.
And
So
you even have to speak words. If you just have that emanation of frequency and you just know that it is light that you are producing through the mouth, and you just feel, you just know through your face process, and you don't even have to have words, you can just do tones, even humming. Anything like that can be an expression of light language.
I see. So when I was a little girl, I used to walk around the yard. I would get a stick and then I'll come back into the house and I'll go, and we had like a blackboard sort of, and I would go to the blackboard and I would start to speak this light language. I suppose it was light language. And I would, whip the board like if you're a teacher, and I would be going off in this language. And I realized now that perhaps that was probably what I was speaking was light language when I was a little kid. Yes?
Well, always when you're a little kid and you're speaking a language that isn't English or isn't your foreign, it's a light language. Yes.
Cool.
So with us?
Yeah, somebody start me off and then I'll. Kacha Montulika was Salap Ajikito Ashikila Mamate Showa Te America Le Soka Shikaligana Toma Tikichkulika Mashika Atike so particular Pateka Chika me no sheta Ikuta Madakatikituka la Kaleko Semeta Ti Asikat Tijulika Mali Kushika Kala Sho Mata.
Very well done. You had a lot of emotion. So what you were trying to bring up is the subject matter of what's truth for you. And how do you get to your personal definitions of truth?
Thank you.
Okay.
So that was
So-
actually light language that I was saying there.
Yeah,
Oh,
pure light.
absolutely, absolutely.
So it seems to come like as I said, when I go for walks, it will come and it will flow through me as I'm walking. And I don't think about it. It just comes up and then I will let it flow. And as I'm
that's the
walking,
key.
it just,
That's the key to let it flow. All right, so we're going to put you on the spotlight for a second. So I'll start and then give you something, and then everybody else here will each give you a frequency for you to go off on. Okay.
okay. All right.
So I'll start. Shihiyata wata shashineteka wotinata shawata.
Eko machableta shikawa babate so kala batete umwa amisa ade asikutikla mese shuwa ke ko masapeto wala katabski eso kamanaktik 2-2 ala ate me esikle kitejugwa hatta.
Laura, you respond now.
Anakina, I chose call, I chose car, I could choose call, okay, I could choose or call, Chiniki.
Dale? Sorry, no, go ahead, Lana again. She muted?
Oh, I'm supposed to go again?
It's like
Yes.
Then I'll go, then you go again, then swap it into
Okay.
Maddie.
Esa tatawata shikoto pala teka sikito wa hasatikita mashikulekete. Eso meka tatu wa sikamanatu kalaleketo sikalebenta sikiha. Ache kamanamatik wala beta pesbalevido duti ala kasu katamasatana machu palabate.
Io ki a kungeka kunje. Chingo kinga kummeche. Kunga kika kangu kugagi gaga kungangi gangi kuginja junge shachi oa kuai elo kinja kunga jaingung ge junga ku pa kunja ki.
Sebelal wata wasit deurete sabababatuta malashik wabatala wa amasalo wasita tola eto ama chiko olege hesepa patite wa eke masudludike sapalalo wata asike ma sechi te.
Maddie?
okay. Hariki hele mehele, sungori ke bete hele bete chetele mele, mahawa. Go, Lana.
So batawa amas benino to balamisi to patate le isike so to the metalabas to te so the mentiko ka mashikoto no sit labate wa amaskul wala shitke wo patate le te kota mashto wa mamala shito patikele ko similar Shukapete Shamashito la de Lolo Shechoa Atapapalanto Nis Magna Ametico Michito what that like to click a tick a mass like a tuk tuk katikati wakatakatika less tamasha o kapat lily le chocotica amati at or a ticket as you.
How could you doubt that? Incredible.
Exactly. How could you doubt that? Lana, thank you so much for coming forward and sharing
Thank
your
you,
light
Lana.
language with us.
Thank you.
All right, we got one more hand up. Amy Kruzik, you want to go ahead and unmute?
Hello.
Hey, hi,
Hey.
Amy.
Hi.
Hiya.
How's the show been for you so far?
Well, I got on late, but I caught up. And I love this. Honestly, I love this because I just started speaking it. I was telling Laura about it, how when I was doing an altar for her, it just came out. It just came out. It was, and I trusted it. I trusted it. So
You want to share your light language with us?
sure,
All right, who wants to set her up?
I will.
set me up.
Oh, there you go.
Set me up, guys.
I will. Digi kaniki cha o ko aki chana o chiyoti o kuchikini cha aikicho o aja gurigi.
I skambun, ja skamba pakatita pun. I skars kapakatika angiakta. Uskani mali. Uski papakatika tukata tikita poka.
一是照顾的那对说说现在嘿这万一那对到我是嘛的哈尼那就是从现在完全上就是万一的哈卡也是那没故事那。
Uski ma tiskapanai. Uskapana tikapai chichachucha. Ni kunya ya ua.
Ya gue ke ku ya kuwa yanga ku ke je kunje kangunje kumbakangi ke ku jagungangi pokingangu akika kumaya shuke ku ya kinyo kuwa ya kuja genga kuja.
Uskani kabutani. Uskamai ua. Tiganana tuna benai. Uskama titikona nyai kuna. Patatikana bu. Siskapapa kita tiketa. Itka tiruko kakapapa kinya.
So cool to hear you doing this. So hodupo, ugoduko shunko he. Gahadigele mehe. Ordi sukinke. Morto ordi.
Badinha, as kiro bu anya, utkambai, ai, o di bai, oh na, but yeah, oh.
Bravo, bravo! Thank you so much for sharing your light
Thank you
language
so
with us.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, guys, I think this solidifies Light Worker Tuesday, Light Language Tuesdays.
Like Tuesday, yes. My light work is not working.
Yeah, light language Tuesdays.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so people understand we are switching over. So all the guys here, Maddie, Dale, Laura, they came together with me and they said we want to feature something different. And I was at the point of wanting to do something different. And we've come together and to form this new way of teaching the more advanced teachings. I am getting sick and tired of doing reading show after reading show after reading show. This doesn't mean I won't do any, but there'll be very few to come. And it's time to tune into a different level of teaching and taking anybody that wants to learn these techniques off to a new level of how to practice and apply it to your life. And one of the other things we talked about was like doing Dragon Fridays, where we just bring the dragons in and talk. And I think this Sunday, since we've already done 2 days of light language, the next show we're going to be doing is that Sunday. Is it still 2 p.m., Dale?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, wasn't
Sunday,
it, Laura? Yeah.
Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern and 7 o'clock UK time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be doing another show this coming Sunday, and we'll be featuring dragons.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay?
Brilliant.
How to ask their dragon questions and what are they saying back to you. So anybody that is out there, please like and share this video. You can go, this is on right now on Dale's YouTube channel. And Laura, once we finish setting up the locals channel, we'll be getting everybody to how to use that, because we want to use the community features there to be able to speak to everyone and get everybody organized who wants to learn what and who wants to learn the different types of things that we want to go off on.
Mm.
Yeah.
So let's call this an end to the show, guys. You know, we've been going at this for 2 straight hours of light language. That's 4 hours of light language that people are going to have to work with.
My stomach's going, "Oh, calories, calories." It burns a lot of calories.
Yes.
Light language.
Yeah, perhaps we can pick up with Reese and the other gentlemen another time because they've got their hands up. So we'll do that again.
We'll be back this Sunday for Dragon Sunday.
Fabulous.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
everybody.
Thanks a
Take it
lot.
easy, and we'll catch you on this
Bye.
coming Sunday.
Yeah, thanks everyone
Bye.
who came
everyone.
on. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye bye, everyone. Have a great one.
Yeah,
And
yep,
you,
yep.
Hermina.
Bye.